Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how we structure our work week. That's coming up next on The Urban Farmer. A lot of people ask me how we structure our week, and so I figured I'd finally make a video about this because it's something I get a lot of. And let me preface a couple things. So typically we are marketing our produce on Mondays to a couple grocery stores and a distributor. Wednesdays we sell to another distributor. Fridays we deliver to restaurants, and Saturdays we do a farmer's market. So as far as our marketing goes, that's how we structure our week. How we harvest and plan our workflow is kind of based around that. So somebody else who has a farmer's market at a different day of the week, restaurant deliveries, you can structure it however you like, but this is how we do it. So Mondays, the first thing we usually do is we're planting microgreens. This is every day of the year, every week of the year. Mondays we plant microgreens. We also harvest microgreens for our distributor and restaurant, or our grocery store and distributor customers. And then we will also spend most of the day on Monday preparing beds to do planting the next day. That's typically what a Monday would look like. So this is not including doing any errands or something like that. So we'll spend our Monday doing a lot of planting, doing some harvesting and packing for these retail customers that we have. Tuesdays, and then the last of that day, probably half of that day is spent prepping beds, perhaps some planting in the field. Tuesdays, we're doing more planting, especially once we get into the main season, so that's direct seeding crops like this that you see. And once I'm into about late April or mid or early May, we're direct seeding something every single week. So on Tuesdays and a bit on Mondays, we'll be direct seeding radishes, arugula. Those things go consistently every single week. And then some other crops have 2-week cycles, like lettuce or turnips. And then even things like carrots and beets go on 3 or 4-week cycles. But we're always doing a lot of that planting on Tuesday. So Tuesday is pretty much spent the entire day doing that. In the first thing in the morning on Tuesday, I go and deliver my orders to my retail outlets and distributors. And we're also doing a bit of harvesting on Tuesday for our Wednesday distributor customer. And so then we'll, be putting that together by the end of the day. Wednesday, this is a sort of an optional farm day. This day is used to do, it could be anything. I might have to go and pick up more soil mix for microgreens, doing errands. We're doing farm work like fixing irrigation or installing irrigation. Sometimes we might end up doing some bed prep, or we're uncovering new or tarped areas. We're just doing more general farm work. That could mean, at the beginning of the season, that could also mean doing transplanting and things like this. It could also mean, especially in the summer, starting to do some harvesting for Friday or the Saturday market. So that might be, if we have to go to one of our buy rotation plots on that day to do some work there, we might also harvest what we need for the week from there. So maybe we'll get some beets and kale from there. That way we spend the rest of our week, Thursdays and Fridays, all in our downtown plots. Thursday is our primary harvest day. That's when we're doing pretty much most of the harvesting for the week. Having said that, some might be a bit on Wednesday. There also might be a bit on Friday, but most of the harvesting is done Thursday. So today is actually Thursday. We spend pretty much the entire day harvesting. Friday is a day that I don't want to do too much harvesting. By Friday, I should have most of my harvesting done for the weekend and Friday deliveries. So that on Friday, all we're doing is portioning and packing and delivering. And portioning for the market and whatnot. That's pretty much the whole day. I'll spend, once we're into main season, I'll spend a few hours, maybe 2 hours, doing all the restaurant deliveries. And then the last bit of the day is just finishing up for the market. Fridays we're usually done relatively early. We can finish on Friday around 3 o'clock in most cases. And then on Saturday, that's where we do our farmers market. So I'm up at 5:30. I'm up at 5:30 every day, but I'm up at 5:30, packing or loading up the truck and then I'm off to market for the day. And that's pretty much our week. I always take Sundays off. That's more or less how our week looks. The thing where the wild card is weather. So if there's weather, if I look at the 7-day forecast and I see that it's going to be piss and rain on Thursday, then I'm going to structure my week differently. If I can avoid harvesting greens during the rain, it will save me a ton of time because I don't have to wash them. Typically in the spring we're having to wash our greens anyways, but in the summer when it's a lot more dry and weather's predictable, we can harvest, put in the cooler, and essentially pack those greens. We might sort them a little bit if they need to be sorted, but if we get bad weather coming on a Thursday, I might harvest greens on a Tuesday or Wednesday if it means I can avoid the bad weather. And this is where I'm always looking, every Monday morning, I'm looking at the 7-day forecast of what's coming to decide how I'm going to structure my week. This is the first thing I do each week. Some crops like radishes, like I'm standing a bunch of radishes here, the weather doesn't matter so much for harvesting these crops. Something like carrots does though. Once I'm into carrot season, if the soil's muddy, harvesting carrots is a hassle. You know, we'll generally try to be somewhat, as much as we can, fair weather farmers and avoid doing work in the rain because your boots are getting stuck with mud, you're slow, it's kind of miserable, your spirits are a little down if it's really rainy. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of those days, but we'll do everything we can to avoid them if we can. So if we're looking at, okay, Wednesday's going to be a really rainy day, well, let's spend time at the home base doing some infrastructure upgrades or some other things that need to be done, sharpening tools or cleaning totes or cleaning microgreen flats, things like this. Try to find other things to do to wait that weather out. So that's more or less our work week and how we structure it. If you guys found that useful, please hit the subscribe button right now, like and share these videos with your friends, and check out my online course, profitableurbanfarming.com, and my book at theurbanfarmer.co. Alright, thanks for watching.